Hello, everybody. Welcome to Travel with That Guy. This is Will, and today we're going to take comment from one of the first videos I did. Someone wanted to know tips on different flights. So today we're going to go over some tips on flights or airlines. What should you do? What should you look for? So I think one of the first things you need to look for when booking flights is where does the airline go out of your local area? Is the airline that you're looking at routinely going to locations you want to go to? I think that's very important because I think you want to be able to build loyalty with one or two different airlines. I know there are a lot of people who say, hey, nope, loyalty, I'm more concerned with the lowest fare, and that's fine. But I think loyalty says something. And if you can concentrate on one or two specific airlines that you're always traveling, I think that speaks volumes, not only to yourself being committed, but also to the airline itself. So definitely look to see where these airlines travel. If they routinely go to places that you are wanting to go to anyway, no reason not to go with them. I think another thing to look at is what kind of extras or perks do they offer? All airlines offer reward programs of some sort, but you need to look at what are the other ways to earn miles or points or whatever the airline specifically calls them. Can you only earn them by flying? Is the only other way outside of flying is to sign up for their credit card? Those might not be, good for people, especially if you're wanting to do something to rack up miles, but you don't have the ability to fly all the time, and maybe your credit's not the greatest, so you can't really get a credit card. So that kind of does put a little bit of a damper on it. Although then I said that, number 3 would be sign up for the credit card. A lot of places will give bonus miles just for signing up and being a member for maybe so many months. A lot of places will give bonus miles for spending so much in the first 90 days. Some places will give bonus miles every year that you're a member with their credit card. A lot of places will give 3 points per dollar if you book your travel with that airline on that credit card. So it pays to have an airline credit card if you have the ability to have a credit card. Going back to what other reward type things do they do? I know Southwest, for example, has a big rewards program where you can, use your Southwest Rapid Rewards number. And if you purchase things through the website using your number, you also get miles back. I know they have a dining program where if you sign up for the dining program and you link your most used card, even if it's a debit card, to that program, and then you go to one of the dining establishments, you get miles just for eating there. I mean, that's pretty easy to do, is to just get, do something that you normally do already and then get miles for it. So I would definitely look at those options. As for me, I'm pretty, United. I was always a fan of United, and a lot of people are like, oh, United's horrible. I've never really had a problem with United. I enjoy flying United. I don't have any issues with them. And I've kind of turned a leaf on Southwest. I used to despise having to fly on Southwest. I'm not a big fan of not having a seat assignment, now the early bird check-in process kind of alleviate a little bit of that, because I knew that for the most part, I would be guaranteed, an A boarding group if I paid the extra money to make sure that I had the earlier check-in time. But I found another way. And this isn't really a secret. As most of my friends know, and as you probably tell from the video, I'm a big guy. So on one of our last trips, I want to say it was the December 2020 trip to Orlando. It may have been April of 21. We got to the point where we're like, well, between myself, my wife, and our son, all three of us sitting in the same row is pretty tight squeeze now. So we looked into the customer of size program, and basically for most airlines, what this is that you have to purchase an additional ticket to guarantee that you have the seat next to you. If you don't do that, and then you can't fit in with their regulations, then they will either force you to buy the ticket then at whatever the lowest available fare is at that point, which is going to be pretty high because you're booking it last minute, or they'll just deny you boarding. So I looked at Southwest. I'm like, okay, I can do this. It's not really expensive. And I had, at the time, I had flight credit from other flights that had been canceled due to COVID. So I'm like, okay. And Southwest's policy is really awesome in that once you fly the itinerary, they refund you the money that you spent to purchase the ticket. So you're not really out anything except for the amount of time between purchase and flying. So I'm like, okay, and it's only flight credit, so I'm really not out anything. I'll just purchase it outright. And then there were some issues because I didn't buy it right at the same time. So there were some issues with the Southwest computer system, thinking it was a dual booking, because obviously both itineraries had the same passenger name on it. Not a big deal. We got it fixed a couple of times. I went out, and then in our layover, I walked up to one of the open ticket counters, and I said, "Hey, I just want to make sure that everything's good. I want to make sure everything's good for the return flight. We kind of had these situations, this, that, and the other." And she said, "Yep, everything's good on this. In fact, do you want me to go ahead and solidify your return?" I'm like, "Oh, I was just going to do that later." She's like, "Oh, no problem. We can do that at the airport, and there's no charge for it." I'm like, "Wait, what?" So I found, I was like, "So you can do that anytime after I make my reservation? I could just come down to the airport, and the agent, wherever I'm at, will just make the extra seat reservation. I don't have to pay anything?" And she said, "Yes." And every time I've gone to do that, that is in fact what has happened. So Southwest, if you are a passenger of size, if you struggle to sit in one seat, if the having both armrests down is uncomfortable and it just doesn't work out for you, make your flight reservation, then go to the airport and have them make your extra seat reservation, and it will not cost you anything. That is a huge plus. And I mean, that's kind of got me flying Southwest wherever I go right now, because I know for a fact that I don't have to worry about having to pay more money. I don't have to worry about, is there going to be a seat on the flight? I now know that I have an extra one. It's made things a lot more comfortable because now we have that middle seat. So I'm sitting next to the window, wife sits on the aisle, we have the room in the middle, son sits either next to us or behind us or in some fashion. And actually, the last few flights that we've taken, he's been very lucky. He's either gone full row empty or he's had the middle seat empty as well. And the flight attendants have constantly said, these are full flights, these are full flights. And he's gotten real lucky. So that's not something that we would normally, advertise on that. That's just luck of the draw with him. But that is good to know for those of you that are on the larger side of the scale, so to speak, literally and figuratively. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm pretty much flying Southwest. Now, obviously, in another year and a half, I have a flight to Iceland and then coming back from Paris. That's not going to work out too much. I'm going to look at United or see what else kind of works out for that. But that's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of what my tips to everyone as far as what kind of things you should look at as far as flights. We're going to do another one on rental cars a bit later. That's it. Share your thoughts. What kind of things do you look for on flights? What kind of tips do you have? Any tricks that you are interested in that you would be willing to share with people? Maybe we'll do a follow-up video at some point if I get enough of them. But leave those comments down below. Go ahead and hit the like button to like the video so that other people can also watch the video, and then hit that subscribe button. All those likes and subscribes definitely help me out. I appreciate everybody that's coming on board lot of people coming on board recently, especially with the Norwegian Bliss videos. So hopefully we get to continue to not only have you guys coming on board, but more people that like the material that is coming on. I appreciate you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.